Okay, folks, this evening activity has been and gone, but I found a fragment of it. The nerds will inherit the copier world. Yeah, I found a fragment of it on near my doctor's surgery, and you wouldn't believe what it is. Yeah, you wouldn't think, but anyway. Do wonder you're going to make it that. This will be a real interesting one. Okay, let's see what this thing is. It is a piece of skeleton, plastic one, of course. Someone with a Halloween, I presume, Halloween piece. So this is a piece of a Halloween skeleton. I'm just going to photocopy that foot. But basically, yeah, I really hate Halloween, folks. I really despise it. It's a real horrible celebration of witchcraft and occultism and other horrible related stuff, horror. You just get the feeling, you know, that kids, they just get sucked into it. And it's also to do with selling. It's a marketing strategy to get kids to get parents to buy more lollies for the kids that come around trick or treating. And I really hate trick or treat. It sounds silly. Trick or treat, trick or treat. It's like trickle treat, as in trickle down the toilet. I think we're going to have to maybe brighten it up a bit. It looks a bit wishy-washy, but basically, I've never liked Halloween. Halloween is just so wrong. It's just so evil. And yet people entertain it. I really don't understand why people want to worship some evil shit, you know, just because everyone else is kind of like doing it. It's really silly. Peer group pressure, herd mentality. Yeah, that looks interesting. I did cut some of the foot off. I do think maybe, but yeah, I really struggle to understand why people want to celebrate this thing. Honestly, I don't understand why people are so gullible with the sales that they try to make on this special day of horror. Just trying to get it close to the glass as possible. And there's just so much plastic in this. There's just too much fucking plastic involved in this so-called celebration. They're just really, I did get it again on the edge of the page. I don't think I put it up high enough, or maybe I put it up too high. I don't know, folks. But basically, yeah, I really haven't got a vested interest in Halloween. I'm not interested in all this horror and shit that they like to sell. Now that looks better. We've at least got it. Yeah. But at least, you know, I just hate this silly celebration. I don't know why people can just celebrate witchcraft and the occult and all that sort of shit. I don't understand what it is about it, you know, that people like, why people want to get scared, especially little children. Children are not supposed to be involved in this shit. This is even dangerous for adults to deal with. It's not safe, and it's bad for the planet. Where am I going to throw this? What am I going to do with this? It's a bloody piece of plastic that should never have been made. Unfortunately, it has to go in the bin. I don't have a use for it. It's not any good. But basically, I just get the feeling that, I don't know, people are stupid. People are bloody gullible. They follow the leader. They get involved in the herd. Everyone else is doing it, so I'll do it as well. I have to do it because I have to be one of the herd, one of the idiots. And it's all about following the leader, and the leader is just your neighbour or your relative or your family member. Follow the leader. Even if they're leading you into a pile of shit, it's good to follow. And that's what people tend to think, is that even though they're getting led to a pile of shit, I don't understand why it has to be like that. I don't understand it, folks. That looks interesting. Looks very wishy-washy. I think maybe we can darken it a bit. But yeah, you just have to learn not to follow this shit. It's deadly. Potentially it's deadly. Yeah, that looks interesting. I do think maybe I could move it over this way a bit. It's an ugly looking thing anyway. It's a foot. I don't know how that's going to work. I think I might have moved it the wrong way, to be honest, folks. Yeah, I have. I was meant to move it this way to get it closer to the edge, but I fucked it up. I don't know why I did it like that. Really wishing I can get in touch with my lost loved one, Luigi. I really miss him to pieces, and I'm trying to get these videos because my partner Luigi shares my passion for creative and photocopier use, and we really need to get together and find each other. So I'm appealing not just to social media but to the television channels to put me up on the primetime news, the 6 o'clock news, so I can get my videos out there so people can help me find where Luigi is, because I'm really feeling lonely and desolate without him, and it's really hard trying to deal with the loneliness that I've had to deal with all this time. And I've been working at this campaign for decades, nearly a decade actually. It's been not a decade, but it's been a very long time since I started working on this, and it's just proven really exhausting. Even before the campaign that I started back in 2012, in 2011 I was still trying to locate where Luigi was. That looks really quite interesting. I'm going to enlarge it to the edge, maybe. But I really miss my partner, and it really hurts to be away from him. And I'm just trying my best to get in touch. Just trying to work out how to do this. Maybe move it up. Or down, should I say. But I really miss Luigi, and it's really taken its toll on me trying to locate him. I even travelled back in 2012, I even travelled down to Melbourne to locate him there because I thought maybe he was there, but he wasn't there. So I'm very disappointed I couldn't locate him where I thought he might be. So I'm really lonely without him, and it's really difficult trying to... I actually think I have to pull it down and then stretch it up. I think that's how I'm going to have to do it. Or I don't know how. I'm going to have to work out a way of making this happen. I'm going to remove it, and I'm going to turn it upside down. I'm going to put this to the top and enlarge downward. So I'm just going to somehow guesstimate where the toe has got to go. Pardon the pun, pardon the rhyme. So I've got to remember that the toe is at the top left of the corner. So yeah, that looks interesting, but we have the toe in the wrong place, and it's still, we can still see a little shadowy bit there. So the toe's got to go further up. I've got to push the toe further up into the corner. I don't know why I did it the other way. So I'm just going to try and lift that up and put that up there and that across. I'm not doing a very efficient job at this. Yeah, that looks really quite interesting. I think we've put the toe too far to this way, but not enough at the vertical. I don't know how this is going to actually look. We need more vertical up, and we need more across that way, away from the edge. We're just going to move it to the edge there. This is not easy, folks. Just take my word for it. Just because I'm using a photocopier, which is basically a machine, doesn't mean it's always going to be easy. It might come off easy occasionally, but it can be fucking hard. Just as much as any kind of art, it's bloody hard. Now, we've got it at the right place there, but again, we're going to have to move it further across. Deep breath, folks. I have to take a deep breath when I'm doing this, because I do get stressed. I do get kind of a little bit under duress. It's really hard to do this. But Halloween is indeed a polluting activity, because there's just so much plastic always being made for the celebration of this rather awful time of year. Now this is too far across again, I'm going to move it back. But basically, it's not good for the environment, it's not good for anything, folks. Halloween has no real benefit to mankind, both spiritual and environmentally. And little children should not be trained, as I said before, should not be exposed to this shit, in so many words. This occult crap. Now we've got it. I think we've got the foot in the right place. But it really isn't child friendly. I don't know how this is going to look like this. This piece is probably going to be considered maybe a minimalist piece, for all we know, of this foot of a skeletal, piece of skeleton. I'm actually going to try it one way, and I'm going to do it what's known as maybe as a switcheroo for this. Going to make it negative positive for these two pieces, and we're going to darken it down, or maybe make it there. I don't know if it's going to look any good as a negative image, if it's going to contrast nicely with the positive images. It actually looks better than the positives, actually. I've done it without, I forgot to do a mirror image setting. Just wondering which piece will be, I don't know if we're going to use both of them or not. So we're just going to switch over to mirror image. I wouldn't advise children watching this, folks. On the other hand, this is purely, I should have mentioned it at the beginning, but it should be considered an adult only or a mature audience, because I don't want to scare little children with this shit. I don't want to contribute to the Halloween effect. I want this to be an important warning to as much as a work of art that I'm creating. Because, you know, we can't have children being caught up in this really highly adult and deadly, potentially deadly celebration. You know, you don't want your children getting caught up in this fucktardery. Anyway, that looks really quite interesting. I do think maybe the negative positive does add something to this. I think now we can finally call this prolongated demo quits.